guys, so this was really hard to set up because I'm recording on my iPad. I haven't been making videos because my computer broke, the PC gods finally hit down hard on my laptop and I don't have a computer. Sucks. But anyways, this video is going to be about my worst online dating experiences. I thought this would be a fun video to make because I have online dated a lot and I have met some really interesting people. I'm trying to cut down on the talking because if I talk a lot, so I'm just going to jump into 3 dates that I've been on in the last couple years that really stood out in my mind as my worst online dates. So date number 1 was with, let's call him John. I met John on a popular social media website. I don't want to say the name just in case he watches this video because then he'll know it's about him. Sorry, John, it was a really bad date. So we met on this website, we're talking for a little bit, we're really hitting it off, he's really cute, a couple years older than me, has a job, has a car, like everything like that I kind of had on my checkoff list at that point. Checkoff list has changed since then, but anyways, we were talking for a while and finally we decided to meet. He wants to take me out to dinner. And I'm so excited, I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to look so good, I'm going to do my makeup, do my hair, I want to look good, I'm really excited for this date. And I told all my friends about it, everything. So we come to the day of our date, and he's like, hey, could you meet me at my house before we go out for dinner? And I'm like, sure? Like, I didn't know what to say. Like, I mean, I didn't expect him to drive me anywhere, but I just at least wanted to meet somewhere, because it's just kind of scary going to someone's house when you don't even know them. So I, had some faith, and I went over to John's house. Meet John. Not that cute, not horrible. Like, I try to get past, just the physical when I meet a person. Like, what if their personality is amazing? So, I'm like, I'll give it a shot. Like, he's not horrible, but he's not that cute. He's not really my type, but it's okay. Like, I've been talking to him for so long. I really like his personality. I'm going to give it a shot. So, we are hanging out at his house, and we're playing with his little puppy. He just got a puppy. It was so cute. And he just attacks my face. Out of nowhere. It's not even like we were leaning in, letting it be no. I'm just talking and looking away and he literally grabs my face and goes like this and just starts making out with me. Hardcore. And I'm like, just here. I'm like, okay, letting it happen, and I'm just thinking in my head, how do I stop this? Because I always feel so awkward in those situations. Do I just say no? Do I just say, get off of me? Do I let it fade out? And it was just horrible. He tasted like cigarettes. It was just not what I expected in my first 20 minutes of being at someone's house and meeting them for the first time. So I find them hey, can you, after a minute, I'm like, yeah, this is too fast for me. I don't know you. This is a little too much for me. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. You're just so beautiful. I'm sorry. I just couldn't control myself. I'm like, okay. So are we going to go to dinner anytime soon? What's going on? And he's like, oh, okay, we should go soon, and I'm like, okay, yeah, perfect, I'll give you another shot, it's fine, you just attacked my face. And then he told me a friend was going to come over. My friend's going to come over, it's only going to be about 5 minutes, and then we can go on our date. He was driving so long, I didn't even know, he just gives me this whole story, and I'm like, okay, we can wait for your friend, and then let's go. And this way I can see if he has kind of cool friends too. I'm like, oh, it's kind of a win-win. You don't really meet friends until a little while when you're dating someone. So, 3 friends show up. 3 friends show up. At this point, it's been a couple hours and I'm just there. They're all hanging out. I am just in the corner by myself. This puppy and I are hanging out. I'm really getting to know this puppy, but I am just by myself at this point. He totally ditches me. Then they start playing EDM music and they're just super into it. I realize the friends are not leaving. I need to be the one that needs to leave. So the friend starts talking to me. One of them is he's a really good guy. You'll really like him. And I'm like, John's over there talking to them. He's not talking to me or paying attention to me. And this is not what I expected. So after an awkward couple, I don't even know how long I was there. It felt like an eternity. I was texting my friend, I'm like, how do I leave? How do I leave? She's like, just leave. It's not worth your time. So I was like, hey, I'm going to go. He wasn't even here at this point. He was somewhere randomly in his house, with his friend. And his friend's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I gotta go. So End of story. Never really saw John again. He's texted me actually like a week ago, and it's been like 2 years. He's tried since, and I'm just, there's no interest at all. You don't attack a girl's face on the first time meeting them and then invite your friends over and just ignore her. What? Like, what? Yeah. Date number 2. So date number 2, we'll say, was with a guy named David. So David and I met on an online dating website. So it's like one of those little apps you have on your phone. I'm really busy, so sometimes I don't have time to meet people, so I thought this would be a great opportunity for me to meet some cute guys, and I can kind of screen through who I like. I met this guy. He messaged me. His little profile says he's 5'11", I'm 5'6". I'm like, cool, like he's taller than me. I usually like really, really tall guys, but that's fine. 5'11", 5'10", you know, taller than me is okay. Really cute in his photos, has like kind of a rocker vibe, has some tattoos, has some piercings, like really cool. We're really vibing, having a good time talking. So he wants me to go to dinner with him. So again, this is where I went wrong. He told me, hey, could you meet me at my place? And then we'll go walk. Like, I live right around a bunch of places. We can walk there together. It'll be really nice. It's a really pretty view. This guy's also like 26 or something, and I'm, you know, have no expectations of it being weird. So I go over there, and it's kind of like, I don't want someone to pick me up from my house anyways if they're creepers, so who knows. I go there, and I'm like, call David, text David. I'm like, hey, I'm here. David comes outside, and he's like, hey, I'm outside. I'm like, looking around. Just looking around for David, and I hear, hey, and I'm like, oh, hi. He is shorter than me, and I'm not lying, like, that's one of my biggest pet peeves is when people lie on their online dating profiles. Like, it's just, if you're short, like, it's okay. There's girls that will like you for you. Don't lie about your height. Like, don't lie about your photos. Didn't look like his photos either. Nothing. He looked like he was 34. He did not look 26. He did not. This profile just seemed completely made up, but I could tell it was him at some point. Like, it just, our personalities just not mixed. Immediately, I already knew this was going to be a bad date. I'm not the type of person that's going to be like, all right, this isn't going to work, bye. I wish I did do that, but he's like, hey, I left something in my apartment. Can you come up with me real quickly and we can go? I'm like, sure. So I go up there. Again, another mistake I made. So I go up there with him, and he starts giving me the tour. Oh yeah, over here is this, and like I did this on this date. Over here is this and this. Then this is like an hour that we've been here, and he's been showing me his place. He's like, oh, this movie is a really good movie. Have you seen this movie? I'm like, no. He's like, this is a good movie. I'm gonna go put it on. So he puts on a freaking movie, and I'm already feeling like I was stuck here, so now I'm even more stuck here. And he's like, oh, I'll make you something to eat. So this guy, I realized, just had this all planned out. Like, he had this idea in his head, because he did not have an intention of taking me out. He already had food, like, ready and everything. So he had a drink, he made me drink, all this stuff. And I'm like, fine, we'll watch this movie and then going. I can't stay, and like my head, I just like don't know what to do. I'm not a mean person. I'm not the type of person to be like, you don't look like your photos. I'm not that type of person. So I just didn't know what to do. Then it got weird, even more so than it was. And he made me like grilled cheese, and it was good. I'm like, if anyone wants David, he's probably still available. He can cook. That's the one positive I have. So, we sit on this couch, and he has two. Like, he has that, like, L shape, and then, like, that other, you know. So, I'm sitting on one, he's sitting on one, because there's no way I'm going to sit next to this guy. I'm really kind of weirded out already. Then he starts tickling me, and I'm like, hey, can you just not do that? Like, that's weird. 30 minutes, he keeps tickling me, and I'm like, please stop touching me. Like, I'm not comfortable, and he just keeps doing it. And I don't know if I'm sounding like a bitch this whole time, but really, it's just a really uncomfortable situation where you're stuck somewhere and you just don't want to be mean. But, like, I wanted to yell at him and be like, David, stop touching me. He started trying to tickle my feet. I don't know if he has a foot fetish or what, but it was just so uncomfortable, and I just felt so weird, and I did not want to be there. Like, I was thinking, like, it was like, he's going to pop out with a knife in any second. I don't know. It was weird. So then, like, after, like, 5 hours or some ridiculous time of me being there. He's like, I have to go and take a smoke break. Can you come with me? Sure. Grab my purse. He smokes. I'm nice. I'm talking to him. And I'm like, you know, it's really good meeting you. I gotta go. He's like, please call me. And I'm sorry. I never called David. I'm sorry. It was a really bad date, let's just say. I felt awkward and uncomfortable the whole entire time from beginning to end. Yeah. So date number 3. Let's call him Steven. So Steven and I met on another dating app. So we met, and this guy, I'm not even kidding, my type to a T. He is perfectly what I want. He has like a beard, he has tattoos, he has, you know, that like style that I dig. Like, I like when people have their own like unique style. It seems like he's really into the same stuff. He's big on social media. You guys know I'm big on social media. So it's like, we're really getting along. Like, really getting along. And I'm actually starting to be like, hey, this could be something. I was wrong. So Steven and I are talking for a really long time. Like, a while. And he's like, hey, like, we should go and get some food and, like, you know, get to know each other. Then we start following each other on Instagram and all that stuff, and then I start lurking him. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a lurk. I lurk, and I can discover stuff if people are lying. I realized him and his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend, broke up like 2 weeks before we started talking. And when I asked him about it, I was like, hey, like, because I had been single for quite some time at this point. Like, I, you know, really had gotten over the last person I dated. Hey, like, I broke up with this person at this point. Like, when was your last relationship? He's like, oh, like 2 months ago. Are you kidding me, Steven? I can see it on your Instagram. I know you're lying. So I'm like, oh, okay. And then I end up, like, confronting him about it. Not like, oh, I saw your Instagram. I'm like, it doesn't seem like it was. And he's like, no, it was like a month ago. You're right. I'm sorry for, like, lying. And I was like, okay. Still, I know it's 2 weeks ago, but whatever. I'll give you a shot. So we decided to meet up. We're going to go to dinner. He lives actually pretty far from me, so we kind of agreed to meet kind of in the middle, and then, like, he could drive me or whatever. It's the day of, and he texted me, hey, I'm still at work, and I don't have a way of getting home. I got pissed. I did my makeup. I got ready. I spent, like, the whole day. I put a fake tan, everything. Like, went all out because I thought this guy was, like, going to be perfect or something. So, I was like, wow, like, thanks for mailing for the same day. Like, he's like, no, like, I want to see you. So it ends up that I'm going to go and pick him up from his work. I'm already pissed at this point. I drive like an hour, and I, like, pick him up from his work. He's cute. So, and he says I'm cute. Like, we both have that, like, agreed check. Like, okay, you're attractive. Like, this is, we'll fresh slate right now. So, immediately when he gets in the car, he starts holding my hand. I'm just the whole time like this. I didn't want to be like, don't touch me, because then that's kind of like awkward for the whole date. I was just like, you like to move really fast, don't you? And like my hand's all limp and his is like all tight, and he's like, yeah, I do. I'm like, okay, this is weird. Then I start noticing he's a compulsive liar. So we start talking a lot, and I talked about how, you know, I was on Accutane, and I still have acne, still to this day, have it on my neck, everything. He's like, oh yeah, I used to have acne. I don't anymore. Dude, you're wearing a tank top. I can see on your back and your neck and everything that you have acne. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Look at me. I still have it. You're okay. We're friends. We got it together. Why lie when I can see it? So that's where I started picking up all these lies he started throwing my way. It just like started piling up one after one. Then we go to his apartment again. I was like, hey, like, if you want to go and pick up something, like, go get your stuff, and then we can drive. He's going to drive in his car. I'm like, but I want to stay here, because the last 2 times didn't go over so well. He convinces me to come inside. It's like, it's really going to take a minute. So I go up with him, and he has a twin brother, and his twin brother comes over. And basically, the car, oh yeah, this guy doesn't have a car. He lied. His brother has a car. The twin brother does. Everything he's been telling me is like a lie. So we go to his apartment, and I'm playing with this dog or whatever. Oh, which isn't even his dog. It's his brother's dog, but he lied about that again. And he is like, hey, come with me in my room. And he wants to like change in front of me, which is really awkward. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to look away. But when I look up at his room, it says the girl's name and his name. Like, does she still live here or something? Like, am I gonna like open up the closet and she's there? Like, am I a home wrecker? Like, what's going on? So, we go to Olive Garden. He drives me in this car, which he really talked up, and it was really, like, it had exhaust fumes everywhere. Like, not like I'm one to complain. I drive a Honda Civic. That's totally messed up. But if you're going to talk up your car, I'm going to think other things. So then it got even weirder, and he starts talking about if we were to be in a relationship. This is my first time meeting this guy. Like, I totally understand, like, hey, what are you interested in, like, this going? But he's like, so, when I'm in a relationship, I want this, this, and this, and this. Like, it was just weird. I felt like I was being interviewed, and if I said the wrong question, like, he's gonna be like, I'm not gonna drive you home, or something. I don't know. It was just really awkward. He tried kissing me, and I was like, sure. It was really bad. Everything was so bad. And I don't like this. I like chivalry. I like when guys don't make me feel uncomfortable, but obviously I need to get a backbone when I'm on these dates or something. So we didn't really talk again after that date. He actually liked my photos on Instagram the other day, which made me reminded of him, and that's why I wanted to make this video to tell you guys about my worst online dates. He really wasn't that bad. I've had another experience. All these weren't that bad, where this guy I did go on a date with that was really great ended up going psycho because if I wasn't interested in going on another date because if he kind of started going psycho. So I can tell you more about those. If you want in another video, leave a comment below and tell me what would you have done in these situations where the people don't look like their photos, where they start holding your hand or making out with you or totally ignoring you. What would you do? Tell me below and tell me your worst date experience. I also am going to make a video sharing my weirdest messages I've gotten on OkCupid and websites, so look out for that. Any requests, anything, comment below. As always, I love you guys, and I'm sorry about the long wait for these videos. Bye.